Yo, welcome everyone to a new video. So I wanted to get you guys more involved because I felt like I've kind of lost the community feel a little bit recently with my channel. I want you guys to be more involved, and I think that will be a big part of us, you know, growing in the future. And we need to try and figure out some sort of name for, you know, us as a collective. People have said Livick Squad in the past. I don't think that's it, but when I've asked previously, people can't think of any good answers yet. So we'll see about that, but we're doing a Q&A today. Let's get into it. So we're gonna check YouTube first. Got the most comments on there. Love my YouTube people. You know, Twitter, Instagram, they need some catching up. Edgar Bahina says, are you still with your girlfriend? Future plans for you? What do you see yourself doing in 10 years? Or where do you see yourself in 10 years? Best tips to the youth on how to stay on the Christian walk despite the world's traps. Now that's a lot. First part, I am still with my girlfriend, almost 2 years strong, so pretty stoked on that. I did take down the video I did with her more because I rewatched it, thought it was pretty cringe, so I took it down. What do I see myself doing in 10 years? I'm not sure. Honestly, YouTube is my dream to do as a job. Maybe in 10 years, I think I'd have another channel where I'm doing kind of lifestyle stuff. Maybe in 10 years, that's a long time, so maybe I am doing something else. And best tips to youth, being in community is probably the biggest thing. That's what helped me grow the best. Probably the 2.5 years that I was a youth group leader, probably the biggest growth as far as, you know, real life experience, not just head knowledge. So that would be my tip. Joy says, shout out Joy, who is an artist whose music you will always give them new music a listen to? I mean, probably any of the bigger artists, just because, you know, it's kind of related to this YouTube thing. I kind of need to know what's going on. Honestly, a lot of people, a lot of the ones that I talk about, you know, John Key's a good one. 350 at the moment, love his music. Go and check out my interview with him. One Pug Army says, will you ever make music yourself since your channel is about music? Maybe only for a challenge video. Probably I have no intention of being serious about music, but it would be fun to, you know, make a song. If you watch the end of the 350 interview, we kind of talked about that a bit. And what is my dream interview? I'm not sure. Obviously, you know, one with, you know, Lecrae or KB, or, you know, any of the bigger artists. Would be really interesting. They've been around for ages. They got a lot of stories and wisdom. But honestly, probably What Up RG, just because I'm a lot closer to age, a bit more relatable, and, you know, he's a very creative guy. Doesn't do a lot of interviews, at least at the moment, so that would be cool. Gabe T says, how do new artists get on your radar? Now, I tend to get quite a few Instagram messages. Sometimes I reply to them, sometimes I don't. Some people send it to my email. You know, I'm a fairly introverted guy, so I usually only really talk on social media, at least, to people I at least know somewhat. You know, obviously getting on sites like Rapzilla do help. Features with artists I listen to already. I mean, I think I found 350 just from comments, and Swayze from comments from you guys. So hearing from you guys, a big thing. But as far as just sending me a link on Instagram, don't expect me to reply. I know, it's just not me, you know. I like actual interactions when it comes to that. I do actually click on quite a few of these younger artists to see where the music is at, and then if I'm not feeling it in the first 5 or 10 seconds, I just click off. Luke Chapman says, who is your favorite artist right now? Jeez, that's a hard one, bro. If we're talking right this second, maybe No Big Deal, 350, John Keith. We'll have to wait and see with artists putting out new music. Obviously, it was Hovey when his stuff was coming out. You know, it changes. Davis says, when you think of quality music, what things do you look for? Production, not just the same kind of typical flow and style. Obviously, the mic quality and the beat's gotta be crisp. There's gotta be some sort of rhythm to it. Delivery as well. Gotta have energy or at least some sort of finesse to it. Costa Jedi, who looks like they'll be the biggest star in CHH in the next few years. I think What Up RG, if he releases stuff. I think if he releases New Hollywood and then dips for another couple of years, probably someone else. Minnick is actually looking pretty good. If he keeps on top of it, if he, you know, joins a Reach or something. Hovey, obviously, great heart. He's got crossover potential of it. He's already had some singles crossover into the kind of general Christian music realm. So yeah, probably some of those. It's a bit harder for other artists to break through if they're not with Reach. You know, the Indie Tribe guys, they've got a great thing going. A lot of grassroots stuff. No Big Deal's got a great thing. Here's Nick13 says, what do you think of Bat's music? I mean, I've talked about it a couple of times recently. I think it's great. Really excited for his future. Leas Oliveira. Sorry, I butchered that. How you became a Christian, ? I mean, I've been a Christian most of my life, grew up with a Christian family, started taking my faith more seriously in my younger teens, but God's kind of always been there. Yeah, I'm pretty blessed. I've had great examples of parents, you know, it didn't really taint the way I see God, you know, like some people with their fathers left them, etc. Connor Flynn said, how were you exposed to CHH? Shout out Connor Flynn, I've seen you around for a while. I've said this story before. I was listening to a radio station in New Zealand called Life FM. There was a song from Lecrae's Anomaly that was playing on there. I listened to that and then found out about Andy Minio. And then the rest is history, you know, went through his Neverland EP and OKB stuff, Tadashi, Triple E was like one of my favorites earlier on. That Rise album was sick, so that's how I got into it. Benjamin says, what do you think of the Aha Gazelle situation? I don't really know what you're referring to. Maybe you're talking about the weed stuff. I've already talked about that in a previous video. I don't know what else you're talking about. I hope Aha's doing well. I've already answered this one, but shout out Reppin' for Jesus. I've seen you around quite a bit. Philip Nichols says, have you ever been to the USA? I have not. I've only been to the South Island of New Zealand and around New Zealand and to Australia 3 times, but other than that, no. But I would love to. I want to go to concerts. I want to meet some of you guys. That would be sick. AV says, how old are you? I am 22. I'll be 23 in February next year. JJ Heat, you've asked a lot here, but shout out you. I've seen you supporting. I'll just pick some of these. Who is getting signed to Reach next? My guess is Miles Minnick. You know, just because of some of the interactions I've seen. Maybe 350. 350 would be cool in Indie Tribe as well. I don't know. It depends what direction they want to go. They could get a Swayze. They could. I don't know. There's people I'm forgetting right now. Nick13 says, are you born again? What age? Yes. I'm not sure exactly when. I was baptized when I was 15, if that helps. Alright, we're off to Twitter. It's a bit dead, man. We need more of you. Go and follow my Twitter if you want to support me. Jose or Jose, however you say it. What is your favorite CHH song right now? Undone Ties by Still Shady and Condo 7. Go and check out my top 10 UK Christian rap songs if you want to hear that one. And what's your favorite CHH song of all time? Oh, that is really hard. Maybe something off Triple E's, Rise, 1K Few Better Days. That's one of my most played ever. So maybe that one as well. If you were to tour with an artist, who would the #1 person be? Shout out Kenyan Sammy Sosa. He's been around for a while, bro. I've seen you interacting with my stuff, especially on Twitter. Shout out you. 2 directions I could go. Lecrae would be super interesting. But I mean, being on like an Indie Tribe tour, you know, there are a lot more around my age. I could see people like Cinematics and stuff like that. Hovey would be cool. Yeah, probably someone that I think I could actually have conversations with. I feel like, you know, some of those guys at the top, you know, Lecrae's almost 40. Get a lot of wisdom from him, obviously. But, you know, there's an age gap there. Mawuli, I butchered that. What made you fall in love with CHH? I always liked hip-hop, but I didn't even know Christian hip-hop existed, so I kind of stayed away from it. And yeah, just being able to have Christian and hip-hop together was just, you know, and it's a great way to connect with the youth and younger people, so I love that as well. Dylan Davis, since you came back to YouTube after stepping away for a while, how have you changed personally and what do you do differently on the channel now? I don't know if I've been mixing it up a bit more, throwing stuff at the wall, trying to see what works. Definitely not doing news videos as much, trying to be more creative. Yeah, I'm really just trying to see what works, to be honest. I personally still struggle with views a bit. You know, if a video does bad view-wise, kind of hurts me a little bit, but that's probably the biggest thing I need to overcome. But yeah, other than that, just trying to switch up the content, be more of a creator, a content creator, than just you know, someone who talks about the news or just reacts. Instagram, go and follow my Instagram, Little Limbo Gang. It says, so Limbo, what's it like being the hardest artist in CHH currently? I love you, bro. I disagree, but that's pretty funny. A3 says, why are you so sexy? I don't know if you've seen your own photos, A3, but I'd say that's more you. Q Official, Drake or Big Draco, Drake I guess, 937 Waiver, you ever gonna release any of your own music? New Zealand Christian Trap would be lit. Yeah, as I said earlier, probably only for a video. I mean, unless it did amazing, but not as like a serious career. Carson Sparling 18, what's your favorite thing about doing YouTube? The freedom, creativity. I grew up on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, too much to be honest. So, you know, being able to do it myself, have, you know, an audience, you know, I'm very blessed. I came up pretty quickly on this channel, but as the OGs know, I used to have another channel that I uploaded gaming videos on years and years ago. I made 250 videos and I didn't even get to 500 subs. So this is a lot of work, a lot of time. It doesn't just happen overnight. Amar Payton, could you do a video breaking down how you shoot and make your videos? Let me know if you guys are interested. I could do that on my second channel if you want to see that. Noah the Bagel, what are your top 5 Christian hip hop albums? Like that is way too hard because a lot of the recent stuff might be up there, but a classic, Rise, I don't know, I'd have to think about that more. Crispy, shout out Crispy, hope you're doing alright. Who would you like to collaborate with for a video? This isn't exactly answering your question, but I'd love to do something with Track Stars or Wado. You know, as always in my Christian hip hop bucket list to be on Wado and or Track Stars one day, preferably in person, but you know, either way, I used to watch a lot of Track Stars when they were doing the sound off stuff, and you know, Line for Line was cool as well, but I quite like them talking on topics. I love the dynamic of Track Stars as well. Some Nutcha SG, can you teach me your accent? I don't know if it just comes naturally. Cohen Swift, what do you think of Jude Barclay? I've listened to his music. I actually have 2 of his songs on my car playlist. I like his music. My hope is that there's a bit more maybe meaningful content in the future, and what I mean by that is I feel like a lot of it's just talking about girls, and I don't know, maybe just a bit more variety. Maybe I just haven't been exposed enough to his music. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more. Follow me on my social media at DavidLivick. Also go and check out my Discord if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one.